Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, November 15th, 2016, one of the big news stories was the shooting at the Oklahoma City airport. By the day's end, they reported that one person had been killed, the father of a special teams player for the NFL's Kansas City Chiefs. And the man killed himself, a former college football champion with the 1985 Oklahoma Sooners. We're going to talk about why that's significant. What you need to know up front is that one of two things have happened here. Either this is a complete, deliberate, staged hoax, another event where the police participate in a drill and a false tragedy is reported for the ongoing narrative. Those narratives are many: gun control, needless homicide, more police, more security, more threats at the airport. They love to attach a lot of the fear to the airport where there's already fear. People have a fear of flying, creating all this fear and security or security concern around the airport. So either it's completely false, or the other possibility is that this man who was killed yesterday, he was deliberately killed, he was targeted, and this was a ritual sacrifice. Yesterday's date, November 15th, it's the day that leaves 46 days left in the year. The word sacrifice equals 46. So does the word chaos. The Freemasons believe in order out of chaos. It is Freemasonry that controls our media, our government, our police departments, who does things by the numbers. If you think this is crazy, follow my work. You will see that no, in fact, I'm just exposing the crazy people. Earlier this year, on the 46th day of the year, Vanity dropped dead, the musician, just before the 58th Grammys. The name Vanity in Gematria sums to 46 like sacrifice. I did a video on her death, and I said why Prince better look out. We might be reading about his death not too far off. I talked specifically about the number 67 in regards to Prince. He died a span of 67 days from Vanity. And I talked about all that the day she died. I also said Muhammad Ali would die at age 74 and why. In 2014, he died this year at age 74. So Freemasons, killing by the numbers, murder by numbers, faking deaths by numbers, these are all things that they do. It's hard to say which one it is in this scenario, but either way it's wrong, and that's why we're exposing. So here's what we do know. Before we get to what we do know, just in case anybody doesn't think they stage shootings at the airport, let's go back to another November airport shooting. This was November 1st, 2013. November 1st, 2013, there was the story of Paul Anthony Ciencia. Paul Anthony Ciencia. He was the shooter. Paul Anthony Ciencia got into the LAX airport in Los Angeles and went on a homicidal shooting spree, shooting a TSA agent. Look at the name Paul Anthony Ciencia with the double CIA in it. 187, that is the California homicide code, a number that has been used many times in coding shooters' names. Paul Anthony Ciencia, the small way sums to 79, like the word murder. On the news, they showed this. They told you that this was the injured man who was shot, and they were taking him out to an ambulance. I mean, just look at this, you guys. You can tell it's completely a dummy. Supposedly, he was supposed to be in bad shape. Can you see any blood anywhere? This is a plastic dummy, and this is how they're treating us in the news. They're wheeling out plastic dummies and telling us what a horrible tragedy is. They did that this year in France on Bastille Day. Bastille Day, they had plastic dummies in the street telling you they were dead corpses with the untouched white truck that supposedly ran over 300 people or whatever they said. Not a drop on it. Not a drop of blood on the big white truck. If you haven't seen my video on Bastille Day, you got to search for that one. Just type Zachary K. Hubbard, France, Bastille Day. It'll pop up. July 14th. The officer, the name of the person shot, the plastic dummy, TSA Officer Gerardo Hernandez. Gematria of 139. Or Gerardo Hernandez. Freemasonry 139. Gerardo Hernandez 139. Freemasons mocking us by the numbers. So anyway, numbers that they love to code again and again are 33 numbers of the Freemasons. This is a Southwest Airlines employee, former employee. They got Paco Balderrama telling the story, who gave us all the lies about the death of Aubrey McClendon, also in Oklahoma. But anyway, 33, the number of the Freemasons. Southwest equals 33. The man who died was a former member of the Sooners. You know, this report's coming from the police, who you cannot trust. They are controlled. They are co-opted. They are corrupt. Secrecy and Masonry, 33. Oklahoma City is 133. Ends with that 133. So is the word government. The man shot was Michael Winchester, which we'll talk about why it's so interesting. Notice that Michael's 33 and Winchester's 52. You add that together, it sums to 85. He played on the Sooners team that won the national championship in 85. National Football League in Gematria equals 85. His son in the National Football League right now. Possibly, if he's dead, he's a sacrifice for his son's career. It's the way it works in this game. I don't know how they choose exactly who they're going to kill. Maybe this guy broke the rules at some point. So anyway, they say his name's Winchester, and they say he was 52 years old. If you read the story on this, 52-year-old man named Winchester. Here's the part about him being the 85 champions. Where does it say he's 52? I know it says it in here. Oh, there he is. Winchester 52. So anyway, Winchester in Gematria sums to 52. He was 52 years old in the supposed killing yesterday. There is such a thing as a Winchester Model 52, which is a gun kind of like for gaming, playing around, like hoaxing people with false tragedies. You know? From 1985 to 2016's 31 years, Oklahoma 31. We saw Villanova win the college basketball championship in 85, and then again in 2016, 31 years later, basketball has Gematria of 85 and 31. Their win all synced up with the Pope's visit. Villanova, a Catholic school. The Pope left the Pope left Philadelphia, right near Villanova, on the Jesuit order's birthday within the Catholic Church, in an appropriate number of days before Villanova won the championship. Check out my video on it. Amazing how they script it. Yesterday's date was a date with 42 numerology. 42, number of the Freemasons. Oklahoma Sooners in simple English Gematria, 181, the 42nd prime. You know, Michael Winchester, champion in 85. Isn't it just too much? Too early in the investigation to figure out the exact motive. I already got it all figured out. It's this Freemason, Zionist, Jesuit network of psychopaths that rule this nation that we need to get organized about and put an end to. We know exactly how these people operate. You know, we need to get other people to care and see as we do, because this stuff is sick. They had to close down the airport, inconvenience everyone for the drill, no regard for human life. They emphasized Southwest Heart campaign. I want to point out that the word heart equals 52, like Winchester, who was 52 years old. This year, the upcoming Super Bowl is on February 5th, 5/2. Something to keep in mind. I don't expect the Chiefs to be in the Super Bowl. I haven't seen the riddles for them. Alex equals 42, Alex Smith. You know, maybe. I haven't seen the narrative for the Chiefs. If it has something to do with the presidency, I'm just trying to make it up on the spot. If somehow the Chiefs end up in the Super Bowl, which isn't what I'm predicting at all, but Chiefs in Gematria sums to 50, like America, like Donald. And they were in the first Super Bowl in the end of the 66 season, the first Super Bowl against the Packers. Donald Trump born on that date with the 66 numerology, New York. Big number 66 there, Donald Trump, New York real estate tycoon. He played for the Oklahoma Sooners. His son plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. They both have Gematria of 64, like the number of spaces on the chessboard. Another important number in Masonry to Zionism. The son's name is James Winchester, also sums to 64. He wears the number 41, the 13th prime. Kansas City With your K exception, sums to 41. USA 41, 13 stripes, 13 colonies. From his birthday to his father's death is 101 days. This is the number for assassin. His father might have been assassinated yesterday. It's possible. I don't know. That's what's really happened. If he's dead, killed by this gang. So yesterday when the shooting happened, they never made this the front page story. They kept this up. Tax cuts are coming. You know, normally when they have these shootings, they love to make them front and center. I didn't see this become front and center at all yesterday. They kept it as one of the subheadlines. Came on a Tuesday. They like their tragedies on a Tuesday. They had Captain Paco Balderrama, the agent. When Oklahoma participates in these tragedies, these false tragedies, they send their actor salesperson, Paco Balderrama, the mouthpiece to lie. His name equals 84, like United States of America, like divide and conquer, like order out of chaos, like Jesuit. He had the whole story for the death of Aubrey McClendon that was super suspicious. Captain Paco Balderrama, the big way, sums to 174, like New World Order. This was the initial reporting before they put out the names, before they said who this was, the father of who has the son in the NFL. This place has the gematria of 235, Will Rogers Airport. Those are the first three prime numbers, 2, 3, 5. Prime numbers, the only numbers divisible by one in themselves. I've documented how these numbers have to do with death throughout history, 235. So possibly a fitting place for a ritualistic death. Yesterday's date had 35 numerology. This airport's on the 35th parallel, also the 97th meridian. The word murder, 79. Reflection of 79, 97. Airport, 97. Fitting place for an airport. Oklahoma City has that gematria like government. This is a federal agenda, federal 33. Look at the tweet time, 11:19, nice ones and nines. They said the shooting happened in the parking lot. Parking lot, conspiracy, matching gematria. Federal 3351. Retaliation, possible motive in killing of Oklahoma airport worker, police say. The man who they're blaming for the killing, they gave us a 3-part shooter name, Lloyd Dean Bowie, like Lee Harvey Oswald, who shot JFK from 411 Elm Street when in the 1961 Christmas Day episode of the Andy Griffith Show, a bootlegging family got busted at 411 Elm Street, the Kennedys bootlegging. The word assassin in Jewish gematria equals 411. Anyway, this guy's name, Lloyd Dean Bowie, if you just call him Lloyd Bowie, it sums to 42 like the date numerology. How fitting. Lloyd Dean Bowie's 57 like Scottish Rite. Scottish Rite Freemasonry, what runs this nation. Full name equals 129 like America and Jewish gematria, propaganda for a nation. They say he was 45. This news comes just after the election of the 45th president. Michael Winchester, 52. You add their ages together, 97. We're in the 97th season of the NFL. This Super Bowl on the 97th meridian, Airport 97. What I think we have here is a riddle for the upcoming Super Bowl. And it doesn't mean the Chiefs are going to be in it. It means that somehow they're part of the riddle. So it requires deeper thinking. Perhaps somebody who's watching this video will connect the piece and put it together in the comments. Got to read the comments. I get lots of trolls, but there's also lots of brilliant people who comment and connect dots that I miss. But I'll think more on it. There's something up here with Kansas City. Remember the Oklahoma City bombing blamed on Timothy McVeigh? His death all synced up with September 11th. It's all synced up with Waco as well. Supposedly he blew up the federal building in Oklahoma City over Waco, Waco 42. Another Freemason event by the numbers. Real quick on the Winchester part. Here's a story that came back to mind from last year. 132-year-old Winchester rifle found propped against desert tree in Nevada. This was a big news story. It was like, what? I mean, why is this such a big news story? It was found in a national park. National Park 132 years old. There's 132 rooms in the White House. Nevada and Ohio, the only two states that sum to 47 in simple English gematria, like the word president, like the word agent. Remember the first Democratic debate in Nevada, the first Republican in Ohio. Donald Trump's had 2 assassination scares in the last year in Nevada where this rifle was found, this Winchester. Trump went to the Catholic Jesuit University Fordham in 1964. Elected president 52 years later. Number of prophecy, number of Winchester. This story came on January 14th, 2016, which was a date with 51 numerology, like conspiracy, like federal. January 14th, 114. President of the United States equals 114. Now that Trump's president, Trump card equals 114, elected at the end of the 114th Congress. Reflection of 411, the number for assassin, JFK. Winchester rifle has gematria of 84, like Jesuit, like United States of America. This happened at the Great Basin National Park, which has gematria of 4296, like Freemason, 4296, same thing. The divisors of 42, the numbers that divide into 42, when you add them together, sum to 96. Great Basin National Park has gematria of 93, like propaganda, the number for Saturn, the keeper of time. Also 228, like United States of America, the big way, like death, like Martin Luther King Jr., like the last day of Black History Month. Martin Luther King Jr., the only born American that has a holiday named after him. United States of America, 228. Martin Luther King Jr., 228, the big way, 93, the small way, just like that. Dead on 4-4. You know? Here we are in the transition of power from the 44th president to the person who will be the 44th man to be president. Trump will be number 45, but the 44th person. They taped this up all orange, this picture. Orange, that only color that sums to 33. Well, peach, if you count that as a color, sums to 33. But orange is 33. Oh, I think in the beginning I said that this was a date with 51 numerology. My fault. January 14th, 2015 was a date with 50 numerology, like America, like Donald. Got to catch me on my mistakes. Sometimes I make them. There's also this story out of Ohio now. Ohio man threatens to kill Donald Trump on Twitter. Ohio, Nevada, the only 47 states like president. They say his name's Zachary Benson. Funny that when I lived in Portland, I grew up next to Benson High School. Benson has gematria of 33, that number that they love to code in their false flag propaganda. You know, supposedly this guy wrote on his Twitter that he wanted to kill Donald Trump. Here's his remarks that he got busted for. He wrote, diplomacy, expletive, fools, I hate you all. I want to bomb every one of your voting booths and your general areas. Remember, when you're writing on Twitter, you can only write in 200 total words or less than that, so everyone has to write crazy. My life goal is to assassinate Trump. Don't care if I serve infinite sentences. That man deserves to decease existing. This federal government, this propaganda media is what needs to decease existing. You know, Donald Trump's just the latest stooge boy. It's my advice for Zachary Benson. We need to work together and bring it all to an end. With regards to the Secret Service being on this, remember the Secret Service was created the day Lincoln was killed. April 14th, 1865. That's the date the Secret Service was killed. The last thing Lincoln did was create the Secret Service. Later that day, the presidential assassination by an actor in a theater. Now we got Donald Trump, the actor, coming in as president. This happened in Fairview Park, gematria of 139. Just like Clay, West Virginia, or Clay County, where that racist story also came out of yesterday. You know, Freemason divide and conquer. All sorts of hate, all sorts of division, promoted every day by the numbers in the media. And the same numbers again and again. It's called Fairview Park, Ohio, gematria 96, like Freemason. You know, this was the day with 42 numerology. They said he was from Northeast Ohio. You know, why are they putting that in the story, Northeast Ohio? Connects to Donald Trump. His tallest building, 68 stories, 1968, the year the 911 plan went into effect. Donald Trump elected 48 years later. 1968 to 2016. Donald Trump, 48. Wall, 48. 45th president announced on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Donald Trump running on building walls. 45th president, Berlin Wall equals 45. Truth Seeker, again, if you have $1, if you have $5, if you really want to make this movement take off and help spread the truth faster and get people to wake up and put an end to the madness, please donate to the campaign. Thank you again, Truth Seekers. Until next time.